How are we starting week 3 of college football final with Illinois Wesleyan and Wisconsin lacrosse, of course. Double overtime. Rusty Murphy forces the fumble for lacrosse. And gentlemen, he goes 86 yards. That's a lot of boy right there.
And he made it.
He gets it in.
Almost got tackled by his own guy at the end.
And lacrosse gets the win, 33-27. That's how you play college football. Do not tell me week 3 wasn't a good slate of college football. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway, and Matt Berry. Gentlemen, when we have a week where there aren't any ranked matchups, what do we tell people? Beware of the upsets. We didn't rehearse that. It was that good. Let's start at the SEC, the primetime game on ESPN Saturday. Florida taking on Kentucky. You know the story. Kentucky got the win for the first time in 31 years a year ago. Felipe Frank's the story, but not for the good reason here. Back to throw, runs forward, and look at this.
Yeah, this is in the third quarter, stepping up in the pocket. You see he goes down awkwardly. He's in serious pain on the ground. Fans shocked at what they just saw. You see his teammates coming out, showing support for him. He would leave the game. Dan Mullen would later say he's likely to miss the rest of the year with a dislocated arm.
Such a sad story for Frank's, a team leader. Remember, at that point, they were down 21-10. So here comes Kyle Trask. Appeared in just 5 games, going 18-27, 202 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. But Joey, he looked calm.
And this is a great play. Going down, he doesn't look like an option quarterback, but he makes it work.
It's a great play when it works.
yeah, right. It's like, just get it out there and go. But it worked.
Yeah, and Kyle Trask, he's 6'5", 240 pounds, so he can see the field. Here finding his tight end, Kyle Pitts, for a 30-yard gain.
So here comes Florida under Trask. 2 plays later, 2nd and goal, designed QB run.
Yeah, and they're leaning on this big quarterback. Don't put him in bad positions. Let him make plays that he can make, running up the middle, nice and simple, getting the end zone.
All right, so ensuing Kentucky drive, 2nd and 11. Sawyer Smith back to pass, finds Lynn Bowden Jr.
Sawyer Smith, the Troy transfer, he started this game 9 for 9, would struggle in the second half. Here, Bowden Jr. doing a great job coming back for the
All right, so later in the drive, 58 seconds. Inches from greatness. So a backbreaker for Kentucky. They still have all 3 timeouts remaining. You think Florida's just going to salt the clock and end the game?
No, 3rd and 6, jet sweep. Josh Hammond breaks the tackle. He's gone. Florida would win this game by 8 points, and it was big for Kyle Trask and his confidence now. He has a chance to be the guy the rest of the year. Big game next year.
You might say he was up to the Trask.
It was obviously a really hard time for the team because he's a great leader for us. But at the end of the day, we're still here to win the game. And, you know, like Coach Mullen said, like, he prepares 3 starters, and there's just next man up mentality to get the job done.
And the key for me was if we believe we're going to win the game, right? Their chance, because we've made some mistakes, it's going to come down to the wire. And what we need to do is continually believe we're going to win the game. And we did it.
What an absolute great finish. Speaking of great finish, the Florida school, Florida State taking on UVA. Pick things up 4th quarter. Virginia trailing 24-17 with the ball. Wayne Talapapa 1 yard out. Virginia fans loving it because they come back and they think they're going to tie it, right? Extra
This
point.
is
Of course we're going to
guaranteed. Get it?
This is Florida State. They're going to crumble in the second half.
What's going on?
Just a shame. So now down 1. Then Talapapa again. 3rd touchdown of the game.
Seen this before. Florida State with the lead in the second half, and it falls apart.
So Virginia decides to go for 2. Watch this scramble by Bryce Perkins, and I'm not sure how he ended up going reverse the field and finding his way in.
You're sure because Florida State's defense looks gassed. They have nothing left. They've been chasing Bryce Perkins all night long. This one, they just can't keep up. He gets in the end zone, and again, Florida State crumbles late.
Guys, the last drive for Florida State is ridiculous. This 4th and 6, James Blackman can't complete the pass, but...
This is a roughing the passer call, people.
Yeah.
That's roughing the passer.
Agree or disagree?
Disagree. I'm a quarterback and I disagree.
Keep the drive alive, all right? So now at the Virginia 20, Blackman to Keyshawn Helton. First down, you're thinking, oh no. Are the penalties going to give Florida State a chance
Now, why
to tie
is the clock
game?
not stopped? That's what I want to know. At 6 seconds, the clock should have stopped. He got a first down. They let the clock run, and now Florida State's in a position where they have to scramble to get a play off.
So you're saying home clock?
Yeah,
a little home clock.
A little home clock.
Cam Akers, what about the play call?
You know, regardless, Florida State has to learn how to finish games, guys. They were outscored 21-7 in the 4th quarter of this game. It's bitten them before, bit them week 1 against Boise State. I thought Cam Akers live was still up.
Yeah.
You see his forearm and his knee touch right there, and Virginia wins.
What a win for the Wahoos.
I knew all season, even You know, all the training that we did, I knew our defense was built for it. I mean, our defense, you know, gives us the most problems in practice. So I knew they were going to do their job no matter how it looked, no matter how many yards they gained on penalties. I knew we were going to hold it because we just built like that.
Our defensive heart and effort was magical. And I won't forget this one ever.
We didn't get what we wanted. We wanted a touchdown. You know, so no, we didn't get what we wanted, but we called a play and there's 4 seconds left. We didn't have any timeouts. So we called a play and it didn't work.
So those are the games of the day. How about a couple of upsets? Remember this Keaton Slovis kid, trendy pick-to-click, freshman against Stanford.
I remember.
Going to go into BYU and just keep on rolling. And early on, you could tell he wasn't the same quarterback.
Yeah, he's a young freshman quarterback getting his second start. Early on in this game, he looked like a freshman.
Fourth quarter now, tied at 17. 11 minutes to go. Slovis drops back. Probably safe to find Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, he threw 2 touchdowns to him. Great job getting air under the football. Now, they would review this play to see if his foot went out of bounds, but the call would stand. Touchdown.
Speaking of quarterback, Zach Wilson looks like he's about 12, but boy, he steps up when he needs to, evades the pressure, and fires to Gunnar Romney.
Yeah, this is an amazing play to step up in the pocket. A little better throw and he scores a touchdown here, but to stay alive in the pocket, split the defensive ends, and make a play downfield. BYU's cooking.
Spoken like a true receiver.
Yeah, listen,
throw the ball
back. If you're going to rush Zach Wilson, you better have lane integrity. Nobody in both A-gaps for USC, and Zach Wilson
He
makes
did
it
this
bad.
last week against Tennessee, Jesse. The kid shows up when he needs to. USC trailing by 3, so Slovis's pass tipped, picked off in overtime after BYU kicked the field goal.
Yeah, third interception of the game. Throws this into traffic, trying to make a play on 3rd and 6. Gets tipped in the air. End of the game for USC. Great win for BYU.
Yeah, second straight OT win for BYU.
First win for them against the ranked Pac-12 teams, 1998. Give me some Kalani Sitake.
Shake the hips.
Who did it better, him
hips.
or Mac Brown? Who did it
Sitake,
better?
man.
Mac's hips don't move like that.
Another upset. Sparky and Sparty, Herm Edwards on the road taking on Michigan State. Fourth quarter, not an offensive Picasso. Sun Devils down 7-3. Jaden Daniels gets big.
Arizona State only had 216 yards in the game, but most importantly, they didn't turn it over, and it gave them a chance.
All right, so first and goal, 1-yard line, 52 seconds left. Eno Benjamin reaches across the goal line. Look how close it is. Told Herm Edwards, give me the ball. I'll win the game. ASU takes a 10-7 lead. Next drive, Michigan State, no timeouts from midfield. 22 seconds left. Brian Lewerke, Darryl Stewart Jr.
Yeah, and offense has been a struggle for Michigan State in the past couple seasons. It's supposed to be a healthy football team, ready to go, but it was a struggle offensively, only able to put up 7 points.
So field goal range, gentlemen, and Matt Coughlin for the win.
Ooh.
Or for the tie, rather.
Send it to OT.
Yeah.
OT coming.
Wait a minute.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. We're good.
No, there's laundry.
Herm's like, wait a
Herm's
second.
like, wait, no. Wait, look at this again.
Do not count the guy. This might be the first time I've ever seen
You got
12
12 dudes on the
a
field.
field goal.
But look at how surprised they are. So what happens? They back them up, they re-kick it, and it's no good.
No, really, there's one guy out there that shouldn't have been there. Did no one notice?
Arizona State goes into East Lansing and wins 10-7, and Herm Edwards said officiating played a role.
Fouls were big in this game. Fouls were big, boy. It just either prevented drives, prevented plays, giving people other opportunities. But our kids did a great job with their resolve of coming on the road and playing a really, really good football team.
You know, I think that they need to take a good hard look at the officiating, and that's all I'll say, because there was some disputes out there. So that's all I'll say about that, because you got to play the game.
Guys, remember Maryland? Big Ten, better watch out. Fear the turtle. Here we go on the road at Temple. Fourth quarter, it's about 7.5 minutes left. Anthony Russo to Kenny Yabawa.
This is a really good receiving group for Temple. They threw it for 277 yards. A nice one-handed stab by Yabawa.
Yabawa, the great catch there. Temple up 20-15. Just under 5 minutes left. DJ Turner feels the punt. They needed this because the game's running down. They needed to get in scoring position.
Yeah, Maryland's struggling on offense this entire game. A lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes. But here comes their chance. They're hanging around. If they can just get this one in the end zone.
You're thinking, here come the Terps. They're going to escape and get out of here.
Yeah,
So
you got one of the
play.
best running backs in the country, and Anthony McFarland lined up. Now let's go. Let's just
second and goal.
And
go
give
for
it
middle.
we need a crease.
No.
All right, third and goal. We
Need
go
a
up the
crease.
middle again. We can do this. We can get this in.
Maybe we should change up the play call?
No. We're
you
going
like
up the middle
this?
again. I like it.
Oh, well, it didn't work.
Someone got a block.
Not with this offensive line.
Turnover on downs. Temple celebrated as they should. So 3 minutes, 15 seconds to play. The punt by Adam Berry goes 7 yards.
That is a shank. He knows it right away.
Last name.
Maryland now with great field position. I'll let it slide. Josh Jackson has man wide open.
Oh, you got to hit that if you're Josh Jackson. He was under duress all game, got sacked 4 times, but there he has time.
Now again,
that's a play the Virginia Tech transfer has to hit.
Leading the country in scoring points. Nothing in the first half.
So Jackson again drops back, floats one out of bounds. This 3rd and goal. Now here's the game. 4th and goal, 2:20 left, game on the line. Jackson to DJ Turner. Oh, just out.
That's a little far.
And just a week after winning big, Maryland's now lost 5 straight when ranked.
Everything you're supposed to do to lose a game, we did, and yet we still executed well enough to overcome that. And so we're going to take, the rule is you take 24 hours, and we are going to enjoy the win. And as a coach, you always want to get right into fixing everything. But winning is hard. We saw that today.
Guys, we just unpacked a lot in a busy week 3. Takeovers.
Michigan State in another offensive struggle. Mike Locksley had this Maryland team scoring points. They looked like they were having fun. They lose. Doesn't change a whole lot in the landscape of the Big Ten. Big one coming up this week, Wisconsin and Michigan. Michigan's that team that everyone's want to jump on early in the season to say, can they win the Big Ten? And Wisconsin in the West. A lot of people like Nebraska, but Wisconsin, Jonathan Taylor looks like an outstanding team once again. So one of these teams has a chance to make a statement, and that statement will make a lot of noise for the Big Ten. These 2 losses don't really matter, even though they're pretty good teams that people finally starting to look at and they were ranked. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Ohio State still looks like the team to beat. Haven't really
For
been
sure.
challenged yet. Pretty good
Absolutely.
Cincinnati team week 2. I'm curious to see if a Pac-12 team can make the college football playoff. And as we know, guys, it's a league that's disrespected. Oregon losing to Auburn week 1 doesn't obviously help. But I think the only way a team gets in from the Pac-12 is if they go undefeated. Right. And with USC going down to BYU, now there's 4 left. I think there's a lot of teams in that league that can beat each other any weekend. We just saw it last week with Cal beating Washington. So now you've got Cal, you've got Washington State, Arizona State, Utah. Yeah. Who can run the table? And they're all going to play each other in the regular season. A lot of people think it's Utah, but I think one of those teams needs to do it if a Pac-12 team is to get it.
You need ranked wins, though.
You do, and they haven't done that.
Yeah, and when teams get beat in your conference and they're no longer ranked when you play them, it's going to hurt your chances, even if you're undefeated.
Talk about that Washington-Cal. No one knew about that because it was under the radar. It
ended
at 4:22 a.m. Eastern.
We were still doing final.
We sure were. We're still doing final right now. We've got an entire show planned for you, including Jalen Hurts. Oh, it hurts so good for the senior, for the Sooners, and Tua just keeps on rolling. Same with Trevor. We're going to take a look at the star quarterbacks coming up. And when you have a Cyclone and a Hawkeye, you have a Cy-Hawk rivalry. Rain kept this thing going, it seems like all day, but there was a final. We'll have that and more coming up on College Football Final.
Exxon and Mobil are introducing new Synergy Supreme Plus. It keeps your engine 2 times cleaner for better gas mileage. That's why they've asked me, Mr. Supremium, to be their spokesperson. Everything of mine is Supremium. My ascot wears an ascot. It's Supremium.
Christopher Frederick on the pick, but that's now Trevor Lawrence's 5th pick. That's already 1 more than he had all of last year.
Cause for concern, yes or no?
Yes.
Keep an eye on that. First play of the next drive. Tommy DeVito drops back. And I don't know.
And that's why you're not concerned, because you know Tommy DeVito has had a struggle this season. Syracuse hadn't gotten things going, but they're actually closer in this game than anyone expected them to be at this point.
Same color helmet.
Yes, just under 10 minutes, 3rd and 1. Thank you, Jesse. Lawrence hits Amari Rodgers. Great game
Guys,
for Rodgers.
Amari Rodgers tore his ACL back in March. Here we are 6 months later. Look at this guy. That guy, 6 months later from a torn ACL. Look at the speed. 4 catches, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns for Rodgers.
What's frightening for Clemson, it seems, is that they've got a weapon in every corner of their depth chart. This Frank Ladson Jr. Great catch by the lad.
Yeah, you just throw it up and they go get it. These receivers from Clemson, all 6'4", besides Rodgers, they go up and get the ball.
Back-to-back losses for Syracuse of 35-plus points. What about Alabama taking on South Carolina in Columbia? First meeting since 2010. Under 10 to play first half. Bama going forward on 4th and 3. questionable there. Either way, find Najee Harris, who gets the first down.
Why questionable?
What do you do,
Well,
right? You throw that guy off him. So now the DB's like, I got to go low. Business decision.
Here's Alabama's Eli Gold on how questionable that wasn't after the Harris touchdown.
Tua waits for the snap, gets it, steps back, looks left, everybody's covered, throws, Najee, first down, he'll accelerate, he'll cut inside the defender, then leaves him in his wake at the 30, hurdles over a man at the 15, and he will take it in for a touchdown. Oh my goodness, one of the plays of the year.
All right, so maybe it wasn't questionable. 10 minutes to play in the third, tied up 24-13, first and 10 for Bama. Tua just had a day.
Yeah, threw for 5 touchdowns in this game. It makes it look easy as usual. Throws it short, and the receivers do all the work. All the stats go to Tua.
Okay, well, we're going to go that route. We're going to go yak early. 8th game with 4+ passing touchdown passing A.J. McCarron for most in school history. It was a big day, and Tua and the Tide keep rolling.
Coach Sark has done a great job, in implementing, a lot of back motions with our guys, kind of seeing where the defense is going. If they're playing man, if they're playing zone, we have a good amount of motion indicators, to kind of tell us that. So, I mean, it gets us to play fast, and understand what the defense is giving us.
All right, history for you now. Tua, the first quarterback in Alabama history with at least 400 passing yards and 5 touchdowns in the same game. Before he arrived in Tuscaloosa, the only 5 passing touchdown game by an Alabama quarterback occurred 9 years before he was born. Saturday, his second such career game. Rewriting the books is Tua. You remember Jalen Hurts? He played before Tua got there. He's now at OU. They were on the road at UCLA trying to keep this historic start. And it didn't take long to realize that.
Yeah, so this is an offense averaging 11 yards a play right now, tops in the country. And if you're not going to keep your lane integrity when you're rushing Jalen Hurts, he goes back for play action. He's like, all right, I'll just tote this 52 yards myself.
That was the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah.
Now 4th and 3, Hurts in the shotgun. Do it again.
Was that questionable too going forward?
No, we're going to start
now. Oklahoma
against UCLA. I don't think. No. 4 carries, 99 yards on the first drive for Hurts. Oklahoma up 7-0. We knew a lot of things right after that first drive. Then Hurts rolls out to CeeDee Lamb.
How does Lincoln Riley get receivers this wide open? CeeDee Lamb is going to be a first-round pick. If you're UCLA, you probably don't want to let number 2 get into that much space by himself.
They didn't cover anybody.
Of all the throws Jalen had Saturday, this perhaps the most impressive when he rolls out and finds Charleston Rambo.
Yeah, but I think, again, you're going to see he's going to find a wide-open wide receiver. And this is an issue. We watch UCLA do this. They're struggling on offense. They're struggling on defense. UCLA is going to start their second straight season going 0-3. It's a complete mess at UCLA.
And Jalen dominant again. Oklahoma rolls. They haven't lost a true road game since 2014. The 21-game winning streak ties the second longest by any team in the AP poll era. The Sooners actually now own 2 of the 3 longest road winning streaks over that span. Dominant. What about the Cyhawks? Side of College game day on Saturday. Iowa 1-11 against Iowa when the Hawkeyes are ranked in the AP poll. First quarter, own 49, Brock Purdy, the swing pass.
I love this. Get to know the name Deshaunte Jones, one of the most versatile players in the country. Can run, can catch, can throw. You're a dime to Michael Petway for 51 yards.
All right, so there was a rain delay of over 2 hours for the second time.
Like 9 rain delays.
Longest game in football history.
Yeah, I mean, it was. So the kids were having fun. Good for them. Fourth quarter, Iowa trailing 14-9. Nate Stanley goes right up the gut.
Nate Stanley, a rushing touchdown in this game. First time all season he hasn't passed for a touchdown.
All right, so 1:37 left. Iowa leading 18-17. After a 3-and-out, Iowa elects to punt the ball. This is not how this game can end.
Yeah, you see right here, Deshaunte Jones, he's yelling, Peter, 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 get away from the ball. And Datrone Young, I could read lips. Datrone Young, he doesn't see it, he's not paying attention, hits in the mid-back, and Iowa recovers.
Iowa wins. Here's Kirk Ferentz.
I think we learned a lot tonight. Yeah, it's always hard here. This game, those guys played their tails off. We knew that was going to happen. The delays, everything else, for our guys just to hang in there and play the full 60, really proud of them.
All right, so Ohio State now taking on IU. Second quarter, Ohio State up 7-3. We continue to see Justin Fields thrive in this offense.
Yeah, and he's making it look easy. They're running it. They're throwing it. Justin Fields another 3 passing touchdown in this game. Young Chris Olave is going to be a star for Ohio.
All right, so Olave is a star receiver, but he's also pretty good on special teams.
Yeah, he's their go-to guy now catching the football, but he's the guy that you need to keep an eye on. Remember, he blocked a punt last year in that game against Michigan late in the year. Don't let the true sophomore with his speed come off the edge like that. Great play on special teams.
What I love is when the best players on the team are still playing special teams, and then J.K. Dobbins just had another afternoon.
Yeah, 194 yards for Dobbins in this game. You see him just pushing guys off way too physical. He has been focused this season. He might be their best player.
Buckeyes roll 51-10. Still ahead on college football final. Notre Dame and Georgia both in action Saturday ahead of their big matchup in a week. We'll show you both. Plus, one of the greatest rivalries in all of college football. The 100th meeting between Pitt and Penn State came down to the finish. Highlights to prove it next on College Football Final.
Exxon and Mobil are introducing...
We're going to look ahead a little to next week. Georgia at home in a pink out, honoring the late Wendy Anderson, wife of Arkansas State head coach Blake Anderson. Great sportsmanship there out of the Georgia Bulldog fans. Jake Fromm here to Dominic.
Yeah, the receiver position was a big question mark for Georgia's offense at the start of the year, but they got some young playmakers. Dominic Blaylock and George Pickens. These guys are good young freshmen making plays.
Sonamuki Blaylock there. Then Fromm to DeAndre Swift, 48-yard touchdown. Fromm 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. Georgia's largest shutout win since 2014, and Coach Anderson very emotional after the game.
It has been, really emotional week, no doubt. It's been a lot of conversation this week about kind of preparing for today and the fans. And I'll just say, just publicly that just one of the classiest moves I've ever seen. Hard to truly prepare for something like that. So I would say thank you to all those that showed up today. Wearing pink or thinking pink, they don't know my wife and they don't know me, and they didn't have to do it. And I'm very grateful, honored, and honestly overwhelmed.
In our thoughts and prayers with Coach Anderson and his family. So Georgia gets set to take on Notre Dame. And look what we had here. We had a Notre Dame offense that was clicking on Saturday.
Yeah, last time we saw this Notre Dame offense, Ian Book looked a little shaky against Louisville, but they found a way to get the win. Huge bounce-back game, throwing 5 touchdowns in this game, also rushed for 1. Now this Notre Dame team, huge matchup against Georgia, but they got things rolling. They feel a lot better.
That was Javon McKinley for 65 yards. Then McKinley again, just a big fella, 360 passing yards. Notre Dame wins 66-14. So, gentlemen, here we are. Stage is set for the showdown. Fighting Irish are going to be seeking to become the 6th FBS program to reach 900 wins. But the Bulldogs have taken both head-to-head meetings. Notre Dame's last true road win over a top 5 SEC team was in 1980 against Bear Bryant and Alabama. 2 power programs, likely playoff implications. College game day headed to town. Give me something on Georgia.
Yeah, this Georgia Bulldogs team, we've seen them the past few years. They've been there, they've done it. Now they had to find a way to get over the top. It starts with Notre Dame. This is their toughest game of the season up to date, and they have playmakers. Yes, you mentioned finding receivers in this young team is the only thing that we didn't know about Georgia coming in. But as you'll see in this game, Dominic Blaylock catches a 5-yard out. And this is the difference between explosive offenses when you can throw it 5 yards and let your receivers do the rest of the work. Just speed down the sideline, finding ways to get there. Tight end Eli Wolf, another key cog. George Pickens, another young receiver. And then we already know about DeAndre Swift. Doesn't even need these blockers out front. He'll make a guy miss. Watch the athleticism getting down the sideline. This was a huge game for Georgia, but honestly, Notre Dame needs this game more. It's their chance to make a statement.
I don't think anybody in the Power 5 needed a bounce-back game more than Ian Book, and he delivered against New Mexico. Accurate throwing the ball downfield under duress. Right here, he's got his tight end, Tommy Tremble, running a corner route. Great job by Book negotiating the throw and getting it out early. And how about here in the pocket, feeling the pressure, stepping up, open area in the post for Chase Claypool, accurate down the field passes. That's what they need. Remember, at the start of the year, Ian Book was the reason why a lot of people thought this team was talented enough to get back to the college football playoff.
Wimbush left because of Ian Book.
And now you're going on the road. All those playmakers Joey's talking about at Georgia, you're probably not going to have Jafar Armstrong at running back in that game. They need Ian Book to bring his A game to the ballpark.
And remember the last time we saw Notre Dame in the playoff, people don't take them seriously. This would be a good barometer for them against Georgia. 100th meeting in one of the great rivalries in college football. Pitt taking on Penn State, third quarter. Game tied at 10. Noah Kane gets the handoff from Sean Clifford and takes it up the middle. Great offense early, at least sloppy offense in the West.
Yeah, sloppy because it was raining. Penn State ran for 167 yards. Pitt only 24, and that was a big difference in this game.
People excited. Penn State taking a 17-10 lead. Fourth quarter now. Pitt down 7. 2nd and 19. 30-yard line. Kenny Pickett to Taysir Mack.
Yeah, this Pitt team scored 10 points in the first half. Couldn't get anything going in the second half. This one down by the 1 yard line. This is their chance to make the end zone and find some points and tie this game.
Love that pylon cam. So 1 yard line, looking to score and tie the game. Pickett stone.
Yeah, physical up front by this Penn State front seven. So they're forcing now a 3rd and goal.
Yeah, so next play, Cam Brown swarmed right away. Pickett the overthrow.
That's not the way they drew it up.
No, and so 4th and goal. Now
Just gonna go for it, right?
Well, no. Narduzzi.
A lot of time.
It's a chip shot.
Field goal.
It's a gimme.
Oh, no. Narduzzi in disbelief. So Pitt still with a chance to come back. Another 4th and long. Pickett up the sideline finds Mack.
Pickett threw for 372 yards in this game. Could move the ball between the 20s, but they could not find a way to get it in. Great catch on the sideline. 1 foot down, Pitt has a chance.
But it keeps it alive. 3rd and 10 now. 15 seconds.
He's throwing to Mack. You know it. Mack,
And he
12
did.
catches, 125 yards.
And so one final heave. You're thinking, could we get some overtime magic? Pickett to the end zone. Oh, it hangs up just enough. Penn State has now won 10 of the last 12 meetings. And guys, we talked about the Narduzzi decision. He wasn't happy with the armchair quarterbacks.
You can look back at all our calls, guys. All the armchair quarterbacks, you guys all got those armchair desks there. It's easy to make those decisions. We were throwing the ball, through for over 300 yards. We felt like, we had some plays open. I want to play to win the football game, and it's a 2-possession game as far as we've got to score twice to win the football game, I don't question that decision at all, really.
Quickly, agree or disagree?
I agree.
Agree, Jess?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. UCF taking on Stanford. Old Tiger Woods.
That did not help.
Just hanging out in them shades, looking like a Masters champ. Dylan Gabriel finds Marlon Williams 28 yards.
How about UCF coming out to make a statement in this game? Finally, one of the big boys come to Orlando to play, and UCF comes out on fire, getting on the board early.
And Jesse, you could tell how much this meant to UCF.
Yeah, this young true freshman, Dylan Gabriel, reminds me a lot of the old Boise State quarterback, Kellen Moore. Puts so much air under these passes.
21-7 still in the first, and this kid is just slinging it.
28 points in the first quarter. People have not even got comfortable in their seats yet, and UCF has already put this game away.
It was a 2-hour first half. I know we got comfortable in our seats watching it, but a beat down for UCF. And guys, start the conversation again. Do they belong?
Yes.
You kind of hoist yourself back into that national, just the chatter. How do you look at, what this
Did we
game...
ever leave? I think everybody waits to see us against a Power 5 opponent. I've said this for a long time. If you look at our league how they play against those other Power 6 conferences, we'll hold our own every single week.
He was doing there trying to stick Power 6 in the vernacular and let us all know. Dylan Gabriel made a strong case. There's not a quarterback controversy yet. There's things over. He's so good. Do with that, particularly good in play action, becoming the 3rd Power 5 quarterback to throw 4 touchdown passes out of play action this season, joining Tua and Justin Fields. Still ahead, top plays from today. So many great catches, jumps, runs, and tackles. You'll see him next on College Football Fun.
That's impossible.
Rice, Sam Ehlinger, of course, they're coming off the loss to LSU. First quarter, Ehlinger drops back, lobs it perfectly to Jake Smith.
Ehlinger 4 passing touchdowns against LSU, gets it going against Rice, 3 passing touchdowns in this game.
And in second quarter, same score. Keontae Ingram takes it 26.
Yeah, this is good news. You know that Texas right now beat up at the running back position. It was a good game for Ingram. What about the defense? They only gave up 250 yards after getting lit up against LSU.
So bounce back, 48-13 for Bevo. They get the win. Mississippi State hosting Kansas State. Fourth quarter, Malik Knowles takes the kickoff, has a crease. He's got 100 yards.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy game. Both teams turned the ball over 3 times each, but this kickoff return gets the game tied. We're going to the fourth quarter.
So less than 6. Yeah, it is going to be a good one. Less than 6 minutes. Skylar Thompson finds Dalton Schoen for the touchdown. Kansas State up 7. Less than 3 to go, same score, 4th and 16. Garrett Schrader scrambles, tries to leap over 2. What? This is the play of the day.
This guy's athletic too, dude. He's a true freshman, was the number 4 recruit in the state of North Carolina, trying to make a play. The starter, Tommy Stevens, out of the game with an injury. How many feet in the air did he get?
Watch that.
It can't be play of the day to get a first down.
It was the effort of the day.
Okay.
Will you agree with me there?
I'll take that.
And will you agree with me that the state of Kansas
Rejoice.
is the epicenter of college football?
Sunflower State.
Oh, Les did it. 48 game, the end of that road streak to a Power 5 on Friday. Then Saturday, K-State gets its first win over an SEC team since 1982. Guys, it is the first time in 24 years that both won a non-conference road game in the same week. Hats off to you, Kansas. I'm going to hurry up offense. We're going to start with LSU. Kind of a ho-hum start against Northwestern State. Then Joe Burrow finally got it going.
Yeah, LSU only 3 points in the first quarter. You can expect a little bit of a letdown after the huge win against Texas, but then they finally get things rolling. They put away Northwestern State.
Yeah, we blinked and they threw up 65 points. Terrence Marshall Jr. for the touchdown, 65-14. The final, let's check in on Bo Nix and Auburn up 31-10. Trickeration, Bo Nix, flea flicker, wide open.
It's been a slow starting Auburn team, especially in the first quarter, but they scored 2 DDs early. Here, Eli Stove taking this bomb in. They ran for 467 yards. Now they get Texas A&M next.
You're right, slow start, but they score the points in the end. What about Utah and Idaho State first quarter? Huntley, 82-yard pass, Brian Thompson.
And this Utah team might be the best team in the Pac-12, maybe the best chance to get into the playoff. Huntley, 3 touchdowns. Passing Moss, another 100-yard game.
Win there, 31-0. So let's check in Texas A&M. You mentioned they play LSU in the upcoming week. Second quarter, Kellen Mond.
It's good for Kellen Mond. He struggled against Clemson last week, threw for 317 yards in this game. Remember, Jashawn Corbin, he's out with an injury. So another true freshman, Isaiah Spiller, the 6th-rated running back out of high school this season. He takes this one in from 34, and the Aggies win 62-3.
Yeah, you want them to get in rhythm for when the conference play starts. They did so on Saturday. Washington and Hawaii. Jacob Eason, good toss, 28 yards.
Washington coming off of getting upset last week, got to bounce back. Jacob Eason, big game, 3 touchdowns passing. Defense did a nice job of holding down a Hawaii offense that puts up a lot of points.
And I'd say they bounced back, 52-20, good game for Eason and the Huskies. Now, look, when you talk about the hurry-up offense, there are so many things to go, but I don't think we saw anything to the level of what we saw in the Southern Miss Troy game. You want proof? Here it is. Just under 12 minutes left in the game. Southern Miss leading 26-21. Jack Abraham hands it off to Neil McLaurin. Finds Jordan Mitchell. 51-yard touchdown. So that's 7 points real quick. And then the ensuing kickoff. Keep an eye.
Nice and short.
Top left. Reggie Todd. Wow.
Yeah, but that kick was from the 20-yard line because there was a penalty from the previous touchdown. So that, I mean, they basically gifted.
Well, that's 14 points, 22
touchdown
seconds,
right there.
Jess. Now, here's what happens. This is the ensuing kickoff.
Anything you can do, I can do better. This one from the goal line. We're going all 100 on this one.
This is like the Super Bowl back when the Ravens beat the Giants. Remember that? Didn't they have back-to-back kickoff return touchdowns in that game?
21 points, 3 plays, 36 seconds. I don't think they did that, but I do know Southern Miss won this one. What a sequence, 47-42. Okay, our countdown continues, celebrating the 150th season of college football. We started at 15. We're down to week 13, and the best to ever wear the number 13. That coming up. Plus, Monday Night Football, Baker in the Browns taken on by the bullied fan. It was all over the national news this week. Great stuff by Tennessee, and then good football out of them. Jarrett Garantano to Marquez Callaway.
Garantano 7 of 8 in this game with 3 touchdowns. Also, Tennessee scored on a blocked punt.
Here's Jeremy Pruitt.
I think it's good for our guys to win. You know, you look at our football team, the makeup of them, you know, that's in the last 3 seasons, that's the 10th win, right? Okay. You know, so the guys that have been here for 3 and 4 years have not had a lot of success, and they need it.
Who knew the noon Eastern window Saturday was going to give us a little daytime drama like one of Joey's favorite soaps? Georgia Tech in the Citadel, fourth quarter, 4 seconds left in the game. Tech down by 3. Tobias Oliver breaks into the end zone.
He's going to run this into the end zone to win the game, but wait.
Yeah, good.
Jeff Collins unfortunately calls a timeout before they can score. Look at him down here at the bottom. I think it's the right call. They're not throwing the football. You don't expect Oliver to run this all the way in from outside the 20.
Still.
So they kick the field goal. They send it to OT.
Yeah, so the field goal's there. So after a Tech missed field goal, Jacob Goddick splits the uprights. Unbelievable finish. The Citadel upsets Georgia Tech. Here's Coach Collins.
Today sucked, right? We can be honest if I can use that word. It sucked. But we are going to get better from it. And, you know, I told those guys after we were done, I explained the reasons why what happened today happened. And I'm going to leave those reasons in the locker room because they're between me and that football team. But externally to the public, it's all on me. Blame me. I'm good. I can handle it because I understand the inner workings of what's happening in that locker room. I understand the commitment that exists from top down, bottom up in this program to get better in every single phase of what we do.
All right, so this is only Georgia Tech's second loss against a non-FBS opponent since 1950, the last coming in 1983 to Furman. And the Yellow Jackets were a 27-point favorite. That, according to Westgate, that's the largest favorite to lose a game outright this season and largest since Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion last September. What did we say? Beware of the slate that doesn't have ranked games. Let's continue the early game trend. Colorado and Air Force overtime, tied at 23. Caden Remsburg, the pitch and touchdown.
Colorado was down big in this game, found a way to get back in it as they've done all season long. They tied the game, sent it to overtime, but then it's just option football. You have to tackle every phase of it or you'll be in trouble.
All right, so Colorado 4th and 11 now. Steven Montez.
Yeah, not there. Tries the back shoulder throw. Good win for Air Force. They got a big one in the Mountain West Conference next week against Boise State.
Yes, they do. Colorado's got Arizona State coming up next, 30-23, the final there. The Bear was all over Eastern Michigan on game day against Illinois, maybe for good reason. Fourth quarter, tied at 31. Mike Glass to Dylan Drummond for 23 yards. First down, Western Michigan.
College kicker.
We going to have it? No, we're going to split the sticks. I mean, it was a little too close for my comfort. Eastern Michigan wins 34-31. Minnesota taking on Georgia Southern. Tanner Morgan sacked. Georgia Southern's Rashard Bird picks it up and scores.
Yeah, looking at an upset alert in this one. Georgia Southern makes a play in the fourth quarter, take the lead, can row the boat, come back and get.
Let's find out. Tyler Johnson.
17 seconds left to go to your best wide receiver, Tyler Johnson. They're 3-0. Each of their wins by 1 possession.
So they escaped there. Now, what we're doing each and every week, 15 weeks of college football final, 150th season of college football. We're counting down the best to wear the jersey with receptive week. This is week 13 as we count down. I'm going new. I'm going Tua. Is the best player to ever wear 13. Why? Because he's done something your two haven't. He's thrown for 400 yards and thrown for 5 touchdowns. So I'm going new with Tua is the best player to ever wear 13 as we now count down to the 13th week left of the season.
All right, I'm going with someone that you're very familiar with. What about Dan Marino, guys, at Pitt? You just knew this dude was going to be special. The quick release, the vision, the pocket presence, the velocity, the hair, all of it legendary. They go 40-7 in his career. Still holds the school record for touchdown passes. Took them to 2 AP final number 2 rankings also. Absolute legend.
I'm going Gino Torretta, Hall of Fame college, 2009, first-team All-American, Heisman Trophy winner 1992, 47. Whoa! Uh-oh! Whoa.
What is this?
Pay attention. Pay attention.
What is this?
Look at that guy go.
That's a slow.
Looked like a 4-1-40.
Wow. How about that? By the way, Gino never threw for 5 touchdowns. Marino never threw for 400 yards. Tua has.
Why are you such
They didn't throw to Joey Galloway either.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Hey, speaking of these two, let's recap your virtual lock, shall we? First of all, Palmer, why are you giving the blue steel in your headshot there?
Well, I went 0-2 this past week. That's okay. So you get the blue steel for that. But don't worry, I'm bringing El Tigre and Ferrari next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we're coming serious next week.
Not your guys' best week. We said we'd guarantee the money. Not the 3-2 overall, both of you.
We're
still on the winning
next
side.
week.
All right. We're now guaranteeing the virtual lock next week. Hey, it was a fun day. There were top plays, there were catches, there were tackles, there were runs. We've got the highlights to prove it. Plus, helmet stickers. Some were decided very, very quickly on Saturday because you could just tell what was going to go on. We're going to hand out our helmet stickers coming up. Plus, Hugh Freeze, remember when he was up in the press box in a hospital bed? Well, he made his way down to the sidelines on Saturday. Highlights from Liberty coming up on College Football Final.
Exxon and Mobil are introducing new Synergy Supreme Plus. It keeps your engine 2 times cleaner for better gas mileage. That's why they've asked me, Mr. Supremium, to be their spokesperson. Everything of mine is Supremium. My ascot wears an ascot. It's Supremium.
It's about time they gave left and right Twix their own packs. They got about as much in common as you, a mortician, and me.